In this video, we're going to list 14 of the craziest records in cycling history. Brace yourselves, cycling enthusiasts, some of these shocked even us. For people who cycle regularly, we don't want to be a buzzkill, but for your safety, do not try this at home. So, in no particular order, let's begin. First up, the fastest time to cycle 100 virtual miles on a static cycle. Talk about being productive during the pandemic. On the 1st of August 2021, Jeff Rooney used the stay-at-home phase to his advantage and set a world record. The fact he couldn't go outdoors didn't stop him. He just went into crazy record-breaking mode in the living room of his house in New Zealand. He used his time indoors to do his homework about the task in front of him, and it took him exactly 3 hours, 29 minutes, and 17 seconds to cover 100 miles on his static bike. Next, fastest time to cycle around Australia. Here's another record from the land down under, but this one isn't quite as recent. Reed Anderson's fastest time around Australia was officially confirmed on April 15, 2013. After starting on March 10th, it took him 37 days, 1 hour, and 18 minutes. He cycled a whopping 14,178 kilometers. Imagine always being on the clock for more than a month. The pressure would be monstrous. Next up, the farthest distance cycling underwater. Let's go underwater for the next 3 records. Firstly, on September 8, 2013, Jens Stotzner of Germany cycles 6.708 kilometers at the Bilbert-Brad Zerndorf swimming pool in Zerndorf, Germany. Jens completed 78 rounds of an 86-meter underwater lap. It takes quite an imagination to think this record up. Who in their right minds would even think of combining swimming and cycling? It would be nothing like regular cycling considering the added resistance the water offers, not to mention the weight of the breathing equipment. Up next, we have the deepest underwater cycling. This one is all about vertical distance. Imagine you're on a lovely stroll on your bike and you see a fish swim past you. Well, that must be what Vittore Innocente went through when he went 66.5 meters underwater on a cycle. This feat was recorded on the 21st of July 2008 in Santa Margherita Ligure in Liguria, Italy. Vittore was the holder of the farthest distance traveled underwater before this, so it's safe to say he enjoys cycling underwater. Next, the farthest distance cycling underwater in one breath. This may seem similar to the one we had before the last one, but without the breathing equipment, it's a completely different ballgame. Omar Lucci from Italy jumped on his static cycle fixed inside a tank filled with water. It was the deepest breath he ever took and pedaled like crazy for an astounding 855 meters. This took place on an episode of the Guinness World Record Italian show. Omar smashed his previous record of 767 meters set 4 years ago. Talk about cementing yourself as a record holder. Enjoying the crazy record so far? Don't go anywhere because it's about to get even crazier. And then there's the greatest distance cycled without hands. On February 9th, 2017, India's VT Vignesh Kumar took the phrase "Look ma, no hands" to the next level by setting the crazy world record of cycling 122 kilometers without touching the handlebars of his bicycle. This guy showed up to the pre-measured flat surfaced lap in Tamil Nadu, India with nothing but his bicycle and helmet and made history. If you think you can do this too because you rode down your street with no hands that one time, don't forget Vignesh cycled 122 kilometers. That means cycling nonstop for hours. Up next, the fastest 50 kilometers cycled backwards. Why can't people just use bicycles the way they were meant to be used? Someone somewhere really had the imagination to think, what if I rode it backward? Marcus Rees probably didn't come up with this idea, but he is certainly the best at it. On May 24th, 2003, Marcus Rees from Germany cycled 50 kilometers backward in exactly 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 59 seconds. This took place on the track of the VC Darmstadt in Germany. He did it on a standard 400-meter track and took a standing start, which probably added at least 1 minute to his total time. And the longest distance cycling backwards. This is another adaptation of the same idea, only this time it doesn't matter how fast you go. It's about how long you could stay upright. These athletes often go to unimaginable lengths when their willpower and their resilience is the deciding factor. The Australian Andrew Hellinga cycled backwards for 337.6 kilometers. Come on, that is ridiculous. He was backwards on his bike for more than a day. This took place at the Holden Performance Driving Center, Norway, Queensland, Australia on the 7th and 8th of October 2013. Next, the fastest downhill speed on a bicycle on snow. If you are extra careful not to go sliding down when you're walking on a slippery, snowy slope, you're one of the normal ones. On April 21st, 2000, Eric Barone saw snow on a slope, and instead of steering well clear of it, he hopped on his bike and sped down to a world record. He recorded 222 kilometers per hour on a bike. Most cars max out at less than 200 kilometers per hour. He set this record at Llanwrtyd in France. One wrong tug at the handlebar and it will all go downhill, literally. Next, the fastest man on a standard bicycle towed by a motorbike. You might think this one is easy since the bike is doing most of the pulling, but the speed this athlete hit will make you question how he didn't take off. Elias Schwartzler took some time posing for the cameras before getting on his bike and defying physics. He hung on with all his might as the bike took him at 272 kilometers per hour, all the while keeping the handles as straight as possible, risking his life for the glory and fame of being a world record holder. Still with us? Great, this is the final stretch. Up next, the farthest distance cycling with one leg in 1 hour. Two-legged cycling seemed too easy to Jacques and Glassbrenner, so he decided to kick it up a notch. On October 9th, 2020, he used only one of his legs to pedal 31.8 kilometers in 1 hour. He holds world records for the fastest inline skating marathon dressed as a superhero and the farthest distance traveled on roller skates whilst juggling 3 objects. He is used to coming up with crazy world record ideas, so when it comes to cycling, who needs both legs, right? And now, the first person to cycle to the South Pole. The South Pole is the coldest place on Earth, so cold even polar bears can't survive there. But it wasn't dangerous enough to stop the British cyclist Maria Leisurstam. She traveled for 10 days, 14 hours, and 56 minutes to reach the exact point where the South Pole lies. She did this on the 27th of December 2013, which means it was the winter season. She cycled 638 kilometers on her trusty bicycle. It wasn't all plain sailing, though. She initially tried to carry off her equipment with her, but since her pace was dropping and her knee was causing issues, she decided to switch to a supported expedition. The penultimate record, the longest distance cycled in a lifetime. This one is kinda weird. The record is for his lifetime, but the verification of the distance started when UK's Tommy Chambers was 19 years of age. Every kilometer he cycled was verified for almost 52 years, and his verified total came up to 1,286,517 kilometers. That is enough to circle the Earth more than 32 times. How did they even keep count? Unbelievable. And finally, the fastest human on a bicycle on Earth. I get to become the first woman in the world to set this record to become the fastest human on a bicycle. These were the words of Denise Mueller-Korinek, who shattered the previous record to become exactly what she said she'd become. Denise is a competitive cyclist, a CEO, and a mother of 3. This wasn't the first time she tried this record either. She was the first female to go after the Pace bicycle land speed record. This time she went in for all the spoils and grabbed the record for being the fastest human on a bicycle on Earth. She hit 184 miles per hour or 296 kilometers per hour on the Bonneville Salt Flats in Utah. She would have affected the lives of everyone she loved if she was killed during this attempt, but no risk, no reward. So that was it, guys. 14 of the craziest cycling world records. We saw people going above and beyond the normal human capability by staying on a bicycle for more than 24 hours, and on other occasions we saw people risk their lives for getting a world record under their belts. Let us know in the comments who you think was the craziest record holder on this list. If you enjoyed our video, please leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Thanks for watching.